Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another update on my Mark 7 Golf R/RS3/Club Sport /TCR. I don't even know what to call it, but it's literally my dream spec on the Mark 7 Golf R platform. It's got an RS3 engine, Club Sport look, and it's got the R drivetrain in terms of it's got the 4Motion running gear. Well, actually, it's got the RS3 running gear, but it's the R chassis, so it can have that. I'm not making sense. But anyway, listen, in today's video, we are finally, after 1 year, yes, 12 months off the road, we are finally going to get this car back on the road and taking it out for a test run. I'm absolutely buzzing. It's been sat in my unit for a whole year, just been sat in a way, gathering dust, looking sorry for itself. And in the last video, we put this thing back together. And in this video, we're going to put the final touches on it, and then we're going to take it for an MOT. And like I said, we're going to take it out for a little test run and see how it goes. Now, in order to do any of that, we need to sort the interior out. I have been pushing, well, that's a lie. I've been driving this thing now around with a car battery as a car seat. Let me show you. So yes, this has been my car seat for God knows how long. So we're going to be replacing that with these. This is a full set of TCR seats, front and back, and I even managed to grab the steering wheel as well, which is a little bit different to the standard GTI. Has got this stripe in the middle, which the normal GTI hasn't. Now, I would have preferred the Club Sport steering wheel, but the Alcantara gets so dirty that it's just annoying. So this is a nice little middle ground, I think. As for the seats, the main reason I chose these is because they were close, they were pretty cheap. Considering everywhere else that was asking like £1,500–1,600, I got these for £1,000 and £150 for the steering wheel, which I think's a great deal. Now, if you remember, I mentioned in my last video that I did actually have a set of Club Sport bucket seats, the buckets front and then the rear matching, but I sold them for £3,750. So picking these up for £1,000 seemed like a bargain. Obviously, that's a massive saving of £2,750 from selling my other seats, which means I can spend money elsewhere because we do need a new exhaust system and we do need a few other bits and bobs. But anyway, I'm going to crack on and get this interior in, get the steering wheel changed over, so we are at least a step closer to getting this thing MOT'd. So let's get into it. So I've managed to get the passenger seat in and the rear seats, and yeah, I'm really liking this. The red really just set it off, especially with the red in the engine bay and the red from the GTI lights and grille and stuff like that. I'm going to be getting the brakes done red as well, so it all ties in really, really well. So yeah, I'm well happy with that. Next, I'm going to get the steering wheel in and the driver's seat. While I'm here, the heated seat plug on these seats are different to the normal Mark 7, so I'm gonna have to do some sort of adaptation with that. I don't know, but for now, I don't really care. And there we go, we've got all the seats in and we've got the steering wheel in now. Really, really happy with how it's looking. I do still need to change the gear knob. They didn't have the gear knob when I was there. And I do need to change the armrest as well. I'm not too sure how you do that, but I need to change that because the GTI ones have got red stitching to match the red stitching on here and to match the red stitching on the steering wheel and stuff like that. So they're the two things I need to change. But apart from, oh, and the door cards. Need some door cards as well. So if anyone's got any Club Sport 3-door door cards or TCR door cards, let me know in the comments and I'll buy them from you. But yeah, so I'm happy with the interior for now. I'm happy with the front bumper because in the last video we swapped the front bumper out for a Club Sport one and we swapped out the rear boot for a genuine Club Sport as well. So it's got a Club Sport spoiler on it. One thing or two things that we've missed, the side skirts. This obviously being a Golf R has the Golf R side skirts. Now I've been and picked up some TCR side skirts, but I'm not actually too sure about them. I'm gonna have to make my mind up once I've fitted them. Let me show you them and you let me know in the comments what you think. But yeah, let's have a little look. So this is one of the side skirts from a TCR. That's the bottom of it, and this is how it looks on the side. I'm probably gonna find it hard to show you there, so I'll probably just put a picture up and show you how it looks. Now this is actually from a 5-door, but when I googled it, they seem to be the same across the 5 doors and the 3 doors, which I found quite interesting. Obviously I'm coming from a Mark IV Golf background, and the 5-door, a Mark IV Golf background, specifically R32s, and the side skirts on the 3-door and the 5 doors are completely different. So it was interesting to see that the 5-door and 3-door Mark VII TCR one's actually the same. Now, obviously the side skirt's just sat there on the floor. I'm not really going to know what it looks like until I fit it. I've tried looking at some pictures and tried like thinking, is this the right thing to do? Now, the reason I want to fit the TCR side skirts will become apparent later on in the video, especially with that little flick at the end. So for those that know, probably already know why I'm going to do that. But I think let's just get them fitted. Let's get the Golf R ones removed. I've tried to Google how to remove these, and I don't know if they're actually bonded on. From my past experience with other Golfs, they tend to be bonded on, but I haven't got much knowledge on other model Golfs, just the Mark IV platform and the Mark Vs. So I'm hoping that they're not bonded on, because it looks like that side skirt, if it's bonded on, that side skirt doesn't look like it's going to cover where it potentially could be sealed on. But like I said, I'm not going to know until I try and remove it. I have done some Googling and I can't really see much. I saw one post that said there's some Torx, which I have seen. There's about 4 Torx underneath and 1 on the side. Sorry, 3 underneath and 1 on the side. And then they said to like push the side skirt to the front or to the back. They couldn't remember. So I'm just going to give it a go. Hopefully I don't break anything, because if it is sealed on or them side skirts don't cover it up, then obviously I'm going to have to put these side skirts back on or send the car off for some body repairs. Another side skirt option was the Club Sport, and I'd already looked at the Club Sport side skirts and I got a price for them, and it was in the thousands of pounds from memory, and they're basically the same as a normal GTI, just that instead of being like a texturized finish, they're like a gloss black finish. And I didn't actually realize until I'd bought these side skirts, in terms of the TCR ones, that they put the same side skirts on the Mark 7.5R. So the Mark 7.5R hasn't got these side skirts. It's got the same side skirts as the Club Sport, which is very, very confusing, but good, I guess. So anyway, I'm just waffling on. Let me get these side skirts on. Let's try and put these side skirts on, if possible, and then we'll go from there. Let's get into it. So I've got one of the side skirts off on the passenger side, and to be fair, that was really easy. So this thing here was just screwed to the side, literally using some self-tapping screws. Where is one? So yeah, it was just literally powered in by these along there, which is annoying, because if the side skirt doesn't cover that, I'd have to get that filled in and sprayed. I'm hoping it does. It didn't seem to be bonded on either. It was just double-sided on, which is good, because that'll just come off easily with like a caramel wheel. So I'm buzzing about that. Yeah, it came off quite easy. So yeah, it was held on by this, and this has got some sort of like attached, well, like a runner type thing on it, and then the side skirt literally just ran across it. You can see like it just sat in there. So that was really good. Another thing I have noticed is that these were screwed on at the bottom using some Torx, whereas these look like they clip in. So I'm hoping, well, I don't even know actually. I'm gonna have to have a look under the car. Just gonna have a look. So hopefully you can see this, but basically where it screws in here, that's where the side skirt screws in, and it looks like these come out. So I'm hoping if you pop these out somehow, that it will leave a hole for where the TCR side skirt will clip into. You know what, if VW have done that, shout out to them, because that is genius. So I'm gonna try and get these out somehow and then got dirt just falling out. I'm going to try and get these out. There's 1, 2. Oh, there's just 2. I'm sure there's 3 clips on the side skirt. No, is there 1, 2? Oh, anyway, I'm just waffling. I'm going to try and get these out anyway, and then we'll try and fit a side skirt. Wish me luck. Okay, so it seems that the TCR side skirt actually uses something similar. So you probably saw me putting this back on and trying to line it up on it, because I can see like a bit of a lip in there, similar to what the Golf R one's got. So it looks like VW have used the same method, which obviously makes a lot of sense, instead of just double-sided and taping it on, which it looks like they do that as well as that, obviously to keep the water out, I'm assuming. They've got like a little bit of a lip. The only difference I can see is that it's like a clear lip the whole way down, and then you get to here and then it stops. Don't know if you can see, one sec. So like there, basically it stops, and then there's like a bit of a thing in there, like a groove in there, and then it continues. Now obviously this hasn't got that groove in there, meaning that I can't get this to fit on. So I'm left with 2 options. Option 1 is simply cut like a little chunk out of that lip thing on the car so that it just slides in. And then option 2 is to ring VW and get the correct thing. I don't even know what to call it, but let's just call it a clip, to get the correct clip that's attached to the car. I can see that not being cheap. I'm going to call them and get a quote, but in the meantime, because I'm obviously not going to put the Golf R side skirts back on, I think I'm just going to make like take a little chunk out of it so that it sits in there correctly. Doesn't seem too difficult, so yeah, I'm going to crack on and try that. I struggled to do that, as you probably saw. So what I've done is I've literally just double-sided taped them on for now. Those clips, I don't know if I already mentioned it, but I'll mention it again because I can't remember. So those clips that were, so if you remember, the Golf R were screwed in on the Torx. That screwed into these, and they actually pulled out. That one didn't pull out properly, but yeah, it just pulls out. You pull this little section out, which loosens that, it just pops out. And then the connectors that are on the bottom of these slotted in to where these originally went. So that was really, really good. Yeah, so I've just double-sided taped them on for now, just to see whether I like them or not. I don't want to go through all that hassle and then put them on and be like, well, I don't even like them, but you know what? I'm liking it. It's looking good. I think it looks a lot better than the Golf R ones. Obviously the gloss black ties in with the spoiler, also ties in with the factory splitter on the Club Sport bumper, but I don't think we're going to get a true idea for it until the car's on all fours and the rest of the car's complete. So I'm going to go and do the other side and then we'll go from there. So we've got both sides fitted now. Well, I say fitted, I've just put like a little bit of double-sided tape on the edges just to get an idea of how it looks. So the 2 clips on the bottom are in, the Torx is in on that end, and then just a little bit of double-sided tape just to get an idea of how it looks. And to be honest, I'm really, really happy with them, not gonna lie. I think the black really makes it stand out. Obviously those side skirts being white kind of were lost. I did really like how the Golf R side looked, and it blended in with the rear bumper really well, because this is actually a Golf R rear bumper, sorry. Now, talking about rear bumpers, remember I said there's a reason I wanted to fit the TCR sides, specifically because that little bit at the end that flicks up. That's because I'm going to be fitting a TCR rear bumper. Let me show you. Now, excuse the dirt, it has been sat for a long time since I got it painted, but yeah, this is a genuine TCR bumper. I picked this up, well, in fact I picked the side skirts up when I was picking the bumper up, so I was never actually going to fit the side skirts. I went specifically to get the bumper, and then I drove off, and then I was like, you know what, I wonder if they've got the side skirts, and they did. So here it is, and yeah, I think this is one of the best looking rear bumpers that VW have done on the Golf range. It's so aggressive. The way that this bit flicks up and sticks out, like it exaggerates so much. Like, look at that. Obviously it's not pushed in properly, so it doesn't stick out as much, but it still sticks out a lot. And I'm quite excited about getting that fitted. The weird thing is I actually had a Mark 7.5 Golf R that I raffled, and when I bought it, it actually had a TCR bumper fitted to it, because obviously the owner thought the same as me, that this bumper looked much better, and it did. The car looked absolutely insane, and I'll post a picture if I can find one, because it was quite a while ago, but yeah, it looked insane. Anyway, to fit this bumper, I'm going to have to change the exhaust. And you know what? I actually didn't want to change the bumper until I noticed something, and I'll show you what I've noticed. Now, this rear bumper looks really good. Obviously, it's the genuine Golf R rear bumper, as I mentioned earlier on, and it's actually got an RS3 exhaust, so it's got the overall tips, and they sit really, really well. If you look there, I think it has been modified a little bit just so it sits perfectly, just because I can see some weld marks, but I don't know if that was because they maybe welded out the valve. I don't know, but anyway, it looks really, really good. Like, it looks perfect, especially with that spoiler. I think it looks spot on. However, I can't help but think it looks like a Cupra. I'm going to put a picture of a Cupra up, and I'm going to put a picture up of this. The exhaust looks exactly the same. So people might see this and think that I've got a Cupra exhaust on, not an RS3 one, which is annoying, and I can't get that out of my head. So yeah, this bumper has got to go, and that exhaust has got to go as well. Not necessarily the bumper, but the exhaust has got to go. And obviously I've got the TCR bumper, so the bumper's got to go as well. So yeah. Now, in order to fit this bumper, I think I just said it anyway, I think I'm just repeating myself. It's hot today, I'm literally sweating, I can't get my words out. I'm going to have to change the exhaust. Now, I'm worried about losing that 2.5 5-pot sound. It sounds absolutely insane. I haven't heard many aftermarket exhausts, and I personally think that this sounds perfect. So I've been looking at the exhaust, and I reckon I might be able to just change the exhaust tips. Let me show you my idea. This is literally, I'm thinking on the spot right now. Not only will that save me some money, but it'll keep that 5-pot sound. So let me show you my thinking. As I said, this is a genuine RS3 exhaust, and this tip appears to just be welded on. So if I try and get underneath, so hopefully you can see that and hear me, because I had to move the microphone while I'm underneath the car, but on a genuine one, there's 2 exhaust pipes, and then they go into this overall tip. Like I said, it looks like it's just welded on. It's welded on really well. Oh wait, there's a spot weld there. I might be able to cut this off, you know. So yeah, it's just welded on, and if we look inside, you can see the 2 exhausts meet there. So I'm wondering if I can speak to an exhaust company and get like a custom tip made, where it comes from that oval shape into a circle shape, because there's no way that this tip is going to fit. This sounds so wrong. There's no way this exhaust tip is going to fit on the TCR bumpers. Well, my idea has completely backfired. Turns out that those black things, or black tips, were literally just covers. So the actual exhaust is overall, which is very annoying. I've just wasted all that time to still have an overall exhaust tip. Now what I could do, to be fair, is just cut away at all this until I am left with those sections. I don't know how clear it is showing here, but you can see where those exhaust tips, where these exhaust pipes kind of meet. So maybe where it's welded on round there is actually this overall tip. So I could literally just cut away at this until I'm left with just this, because otherwise a TCR bumper is definitely not going to fit. Well, I could actually fit it without the diffuser, but you get what I mean. Now I'm just going to line the diffuser up. Yeah, look at that. In fact, that's nowhere near. So, you know what? I'm going to have to get a new exhaust made because they're not even lining up anyway. So my idea was, as you know, to cut that off, have them literally just line up there. But I'm going to have to get a whole exhaust made because, that is an absolute wounder. I am gutted. I should have tried this first. Why didn't I try this first? I just assumed it would line up. But yeah, look how far out that is. Wow. I think even if I get them overall tips off, it's not going to line up, is it? That is annoying. So yeah, being a tight ass hasn't paid off this time. You can see how much of a tight ass I am by the blade on my disc. It was like this small. I'm getting the most out of that disc, all right. So yeah, I'm absolutely gutted. I'm genuinely gutted. I'm going to have to get a new exhaust made. I think what I'm going to do in the meantime is just put that bumper on, because as you can see I can just remove the diffuser, so I can put the bumper on, get it all back together, and then obviously I can just get an exhaust made and then put the diffuser on when the exhaust is made. One good thing to take away from this is that that back box section is actually on a V-band, because Dave, who had it before, has obviously modified that back box. That back box can literally just come off. Let me just show you. So as you can see there, you can literally just unclamp that and it will remove this. So I could literally just get this section remade, and then that can just attach to that bit there. So instead of getting a whole system, because like I said, I don't want to lose that RS sound. And to be fair, if there's any way to modify these pipes and just bring them over here and put a tip on that way, I'm going to do that. Right, okay, so the rear bumper's on, the side skirts are on. I am very happy with the way that it's looking. Obviously we didn't get where I wanted to get to today, but progress has been made. Now, you probably saw me take off the back box. It was literally 3 bolts. It made sense. There was a bolt for that rubber, there was a bolt for that rubber, and then obviously the V-band, and then it just fell off pretty much. Looking at the exhaust, and I think I was overthinking things. I'm talking about having the pipes modified and then a tip put on the end. I don't know why that, such a child. But anyway, I think it's just best I just get a whole new back box made up to that V-band. Just makes sense. Obviously, I've saved some money on selling my Club Sport seats, so it just makes sense having that done. I'm not too sure when I'll be able to get that done or who I'm going to use or, you know, whatever. And I'm toying with the idea of not actually having a back box, maybe just coming off. If you look at a GTI exhaust, which I'll post right now, you can buy like a back box delete. And I'm thinking about just going for that style. I am planning on using this car a fair bit, and I don't really want a drone sound. And like I said, this exhaust at the moment, this setup sounds absolutely perfect, and I don't want to lose that. But I am tempted to do that. And I think if I get one of those exhausts made with the back box delete, I can always have a back box fitted. You know, it's not going to be too difficult. So anyway, the exhaust has been removed. It would be a shame not to see how this is sounding without a back box. So I'm going to give it a fire up because, like I said, I'm interested to see what it sounds like, and I'm sure you guys are as well. So let's go and do that. But listen, before we get into that, head over to Level Up Giveaways right now and grab your tickets to win this twin turbo, yes, twin turbo Audi R8 for just 99p. The car comes with £5,000 as well towards running cost. And listen, if you don't want the car, you can take a £100,000 cash alternative. Yes, £100,000. Head over to the website levelupgiveaways.co.uk, grab some tickets. Back into the video. You know what, that doesn't actually sound that crazy. It does smell though, it smells like the R8. That actually, it smells quite bad. Listen, on that note, I'm gonna leave the video there. Listen, if you've enjoyed this video, hit that subscribe button, it helps so much. Hit the like button, drop a comment, let me know what you think of the car so far. I'm absolutely over the moon with it, to be honest. Some alignment needs doing. Obviously we need an exhaust making, I need to figure out how to fit them side skirts, but yeah, we're making progress. So like I said, thank you for watching, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye bye.